Stargirl has returned for a second season, and the production quality seems to be still at the point of excellence that they had initially. So this one and Superman and Lois, just for whatever bizarre reason, are pretty good, despite being CW shows. Now, initially, Stargirl wasn't. That was supposed to be for the DC Universe app, but that thing was doomed to failure. Just in the crowded streaming war field, it just, I don't think, ever had a shot. But what have you, and eventually this will all be sort of archived over at HBO Max at some point. But anyway, second season called Summer School, because at least two of the students, including Stargirl herself, flunked and are going to have to go to summer school because she's too busy wanting to be a Stargirl. And she says, well, that's my future and stuff, and she's all obsessed with being Stargirl. Meanwhile, our man, he ends up having to he's going to have to go to summer school too. The teacher accused him of cheating. I don't think he did, but he's the bad boy, and she doesn't like him or trust him, so she's just going to accuse him of it and all that. So I guess, and I don't know if the other two will somehow get stuck in summer school as well. So that, they can still be in high school even though it's summer. See, the summer could have been a way to just abandon that, but they've got that building to use as a set, and that's so, they got to make use of it. And of course, the secret hideout is still there. Nobody did anything about that because Shiv, she shows up at the end, and she's got the Eclipso stone and all that. So that's, the big villain coming for this season. It starts off very creepy and weird and horror movie like, and I think there's going to be quite a bit of elements of that, especially considering it's Eclipso is the big bad in this, and Eclipso is his ability. It's really this entity that's within this crystal, but it takes over the minds of other people and seeks out their dark side. So right off the bat, Wildcat, of course, she killed Brainwave, and so she's haunted by that. So that's probably she'll be taken over. Shiv is using the stone, but or she thinks she is. It's probably the other way around. But at the end, she lays out a bunch of photographs of people she's going to target with this thing. And you think the last photo is going to be Stargirl, but no, it's her little brother. So that's who she's going after. So let's see how that unfolds. The other elements is apparently, I guess this is Jade shows up. She breaks into Stargirl's house to steal the Green Lantern's lantern. And she knows pretty much how to use it. So I guess that's how they're going with that. Unlike in the comics where she's just born with the powers since she's green. And I don't know if they'll introduce her brother, Obsidian. And perhaps they will. Meanwhile, our man, Tyler, Rick Tyler, is... he realizes that Solomon Grundy survived the battle and... I don't know if he wants to finish him off or if it's just he feels sorry for him now. And, I don't know where that's going, but he's looking for him. He sees evidence that he's been, smashing through the woods and stuff like that and is out there somewhere. So at some scene, he leaves several buckets of chicken for him. There's no trap or anything, so I'm not sure exactly what he's doing there with that. So, we'll see. Solomon Grundy, of course, is a totally CGI character, so, it's going to be expensive to keep him around. Shoot it all at night, But it is somewhat that it began with this horror element, and if they had Solomon Grundy show up, because that's, that's pretty much what he is, that would fit in with it, of how they'll do this. And, there's a lot of horror movies in keeping with high school kids and that sort of thing, which all well and good. But, of course, high school soap operas, as I've said, I can't stand. But they weaved it well in the first season. So if they can continue like that, okay, that's why I thought, the summer would be a way to avoid that. But, and if they keep it's similar to how Superman and Lois, I thought, it's going to be all about the boys and stuff. And no, they're just a part of the show. They keep it at a minimum, and it works for it. And Stargirl, in a lot of ways, did the same thing, even though it's even more involving more high schoolers, as being these, legacy characters, being the new Justice Society and all that. So it worked. I was surprised. I thought I would not like the show. It's, in a lot of ways, it wasn't a show for me and all that sort of stuff. But I was impressed with how they did it, and so it got my interest. There's some, and I know I'm not going to get everything I would like for the Justice Society, and so I would want to see the real Justice Society, but they're all dead mostly. But Starman apparently isn't. They went back with that. He's on his way looking for Stripesy, so we'll see where that goes. And then looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with Jade and all of that. So there's plenty of elements here that's interesting. There's some connection that the horror element at the opening is in the past, I guess sometime in the 50s or what have you. And this little girl is, I don't know if killed or what, or taken in by the Eclipso entity. And it's all very creepy and stuff, but apparently has some relation to the McNider family, which is, Dr. Midnight. And then there's something weird going on with the goggles. Didn't recognize who Beth was and all that. Beth is, of all the new characters, she's the one furthest removed from the actual character of Beth Chapel. And that's still rather disappointing. And within the context of the show, she works. She's the goofy, nerdy girl of the team and all that sort of stuff for what they're doing with her. But it's just a shame it wasn't like the real character. But then I guess she's too young for that. I guess it would have been her mother would be the new Dr. Midnight and all that. And of course she's not blind or anything, so there's all that's just, it's really completely, there's no magic. The magic, well, not magic, but the technological idea of the goggles is that they helped Dr. Midnight see in the dark. He could see in the dark anyway, but the goggles helped him, so he could see in the daytime as well and that sort of thing. But as far as being this AI computer, like Kit from Knight Rider, no, it wasn't doing that. But it doesn't. This is what happens with this show. Why? And there's some elements I've watched this and I'm like, oh, I forgot who this guy was. I'm already forgetting what happened, on the basics of last season. But maybe there was something alluding to that. But so there's little mysteries they sprinkle throughout. And you just have to tune in to find out what's going on. So, meanwhile, Luke Wilson, Stripesy, he wanted to go on vacation, but because Stargirl was going to summer school, they had to scrap it. But before they did, he asked this other guy to come watch his auto shop where they were gone. The guy said, yeah. And, of course, he ends up snooping around and finds the robot. So that's going to be a problem going forward. So, Stripesy's going to have to kill him. No. Obviously. No, won't be able to do that. But we'll see. So, probably the most interesting thing was Jade showing up. And we'll see where that goes, too. Yeah, and, of course, Starman coming back, I guess. And all that. So, anyway, it would be interesting if they gave more details of who else, what Earth this is and all that type of stuff. There was a brief nod that she was talking about past villains because she wants to know where this one is and that one is. And one of them, Luke said the Flash dropped him in a parallel universe. So, it's some nod to that sort of stuff. But anyway, so far so good. And we'll see if it can continue as good as it was the previous season as we go forward with Stargirl. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.